Growing up as a child, I went to church to the age of 2 because my dad was a minister. But as soon as my parents divorced, that's when I really stopped going to church. My mom was a single parent mom and she never had a job before, so it was just a really hard time for her. And then my dad started drinking more, and my whole life he was in and out of jail, so our relationship kind of split. And at that point, I feel like my relationship with God split at the same time. I became really depressed. I was just searching for an answer, and I just felt like there was no place for me. I felt like God was speaking to me, but at that point, I didn't really know who God was, so I didn't know who was speaking to me. And so that Sunday, I went to church, and I walk in, and all these people are greeting me. And I was like, these people are really happy. I felt like this was the place for me. I felt like God was like, hey, you don't have to be broken anymore. You can find a place where you can be loved. We made this video for Above and Beyond in 2014. I lived in those apartments across the street, and then I walked across the street and gave my life to Jesus in this exact church, in these exact walls. I think the video shows accurate emotion. I was in a dark place. I was sad, I was depressed, I was grieving. Jesus did save my life, but it missed a big part of why I walked across the street and what that day really looked like for me, to be honest. That day, I was ready to end it all. And in my life, I had wrote a letter to my mom. I was just exhausted, and I was done with God, and I was done with life. I wrote the letter, and I walked out, and I began my walk, and realized I had to use the restroom. Went across the street into this building, and I honestly didn't even know it was a church. And I saw people walking in, but it just didn't click that it was Sunday. So I walked in this church, and my life got changed. Yeah, I had a few months around Passion. I got to go to winter weekend, I got to go to summer camp, I got to go to conference, make friends, but it was only seeds planted. I didn't get to stay around long enough to see them grow, and eventually I drifted. I went to Syracuse University. I had a full tuition scholarship. I thought I was getting away from all the baggage and all the pain that was here, but I was wrong. I started participating in things that I thought I never would participate in, and I'm gonna go out just one night. And those one nights turned into multiple nights. And next thing I knew, I was partying all the time, drinking all the time, and just trying to fit into the crowd all the time. I didn't know Jesus well enough to trust him with that part of me. And before I knew it, I was back in Atlanta, back where all the hurting was. It's actually crazy now when I really think about it, because you feel like you look beautiful on the outside to everyone. The amount of times people would tell me, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Because I did everything that people told me to do, and I didn't understand why I wasn't happy. It's very easy to feel lost when you're still surrounded by all the things that bring you pain. And so I decided to move from Atlanta, and I decided to move to DC. And I needed a job. So I became a flight attendant. I found out about Passion DC. I got plugged back in, and I started not only going to church and getting a part of community and going to community groups, but also became a door holder. Then I decided to become a door holder at Passion Conference. God wasn't done. He kept working that whole conference. God met me in that intercessor room. And I met another flight attendant. And it was like he was telling me, hey, I'm still here, and I have not taken my eyes off of you. After that, I was searching, and I was starving, and I wanted more. I was hungry for the Lord. There was a fire that lit inside of me that I had never felt before, and I didn't want it to go out. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is when Jesus meets a Samaritan woman at the well. That one conversation changed everything for her. He transformed her heart. And she went back to the same people that used to condemn her, and she told them about Jesus. And she told them her testimony. People believed at first because of her testimony, but then they got to meet Jesus for themselves. And they believed because of him, because of who he was. That woman is me. I am the Samaritan woman at the well. I have lived with pain, depression, anxiety, all of the things, but Jesus met me. But he gave me grace, he gave me love, and he restored me, and he healed me. He didn't make me feel shameful or guilty of my story. So now, here I am, the Samaritan woman, getting a chance to point people to Jesus every single day and work at a church that saved my life years ago. The same exact church that I literally got to put my faith in Jesus in, I now get to serve in daily. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I'm so blessed that the same grace and love that Jesus gives daily was given to me through this church. And they see what the Lord has done in me. And I think a lot of times we see for God, for the city, for the world, for the people. Probably got the order wrong because I'm emotional right now, but it's more than that. It's a mantle, it's a mission, it's a calling, and it's something they represent inside and out. And I'm like a pure example of that. Like, I am Alanne. I am the city. And I am what happens when you don't give up on someone and you look at them the way Jesus sees people. I'm just grateful. There's a door you could knock on, and when you do, Jesus will answer, and he will take you from death to life.